Hello, welcome to Dungeon Drills Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing DC Universe Dreamwar, which is a Wildstorm and DC Universe crossover event, written by Keith Giffen and drawn by Garbett and Trevor Scott. This book goes for $20 US, $22.99 Canadian, right? And boy, do I have a lot to say about this book. First off, it's a little misleading, the title. DC Universe and Wildstorm crossover, because it's this book is basically told from the universe of the Wildstorm characters, right? So but at the back they made it sound like, oh, it was like the DC universe were the good guys, right? So the story is basically superheroes from DC Comics are invading the world of Wildstorm, which the world of Wildstorm is basically a lot of IPs that Jim Lee brought over when he left Image. So seeing all the different Image IP, the Image IPs in this comic book is hilarious, because when Jim Lee left Image, he pretty much gutted the Image Comics superhero universe, because you have WildC.A.T.S, you have the 40s here, but that wasn't that wasn't Jim Lee. But you have WildC.A.T.S, which is Jim Lee. You have one of the guys from Wetworks. Stain is in this book. You have Gen 13. You have Stormwatch, right? And you have the Authority characters, which I'm not sure who created them. If it's Warren Ellis or Mark Millar. I think it was Warren Ellis, but Mark Millar, when people talk about him, gets a lot of the credit. And the only Wildstorm comic book I have is the single issues is issue 1 of 6 of Grifter Midnighter crossover event, which is back there. Hopefully I didn't accidentally show my face. So yeah, this was actually a decent read, but I'm not a huge fan of the Wildstorm universe, because basically the reason at first why the DC superheroes went to fight the Wildstorm superheroes is because they're basically almost every Wildstorm character is pretty much the Punisher. They don't they don't play, man. They straight up kill people, right? So when you see your favorite DC Universe characters fight the Wildstorm characters and get effing destroyed, killed, man, one-shotted. There's a lot of characters that get one-shotted, right? So yeah, you see, I'll show you the interior art, which a lot of the DC superheroes have their old costumes, right? And that's Barry Allen there, right? So there's Majestic, and there's Spartan outside of his uniform. So at first, it's the Teen Titans versus, the Teen Titans target is, I think it was WildC.A.T.S and Gen 13, and then the Legion of Superheroes went after, Legion of Superheroes went after Stormwatch, which is led by a guy named Winter, not the battalion guy. And then there's these old superheroes, which I don't know their names, that are getting faced off against the JSA, which that's the JSA outside of uniform, at least 3 of them, which that's Alan Scott, Jay Garrick, and WildC.A.T. I don't really know who the Tranquility guys are, right? So yeah, so a lot of your favorite DC characters die pretty much pathetic deaths in this book, and it's really sad. And even the big guy himself, Batman, dies against Zealot from WildC.A.T.S and gets his head cut off. Right? Spoiler alert. Also, Death Blow is in here for people who like Death Blow. Right? And they have the nerve after Batman dies to put him on the cover for the next book in this 6-issue mini limited series, which ran in 2008. This book came out in 2009. So we're reviewing like 2008 series in a row. My bad. Yeah, it turns out, spoiler alert, that it was basically some fat kid with psychic powers who brought all the DC Universe characters to life to kill the Wildcat characters, because the not the Wildcat, the Wildstorm characters are shitty superheroes, right? And because they couldn't save him because he was abused by his dad, right? And then they eventually, they were going to kill the kid, but they decided, but Superman, eventually the DC Universe characters wake up to their, senses, because they don't kill, right? And they joined the Wildstorm characters despite having losses. Right? Which, as far as I know, the DC Universe guys only killed one guy on their side, right? I think that's a Jim Lee cover, but I'm not sure. Alright. There's the Colonel Dane from Wetworks. He's like the only Wetworks guy I saw. Yeah, there's Dr. Fate getting killed by Grifter, by the way. I mean, I guess they're not the real, they're like mental constructs, but yeah. It turns out that it's like all a dream at the end, so, yeah. But it actually did happen, but yeah, they woke up. Yeah. I think these guys are from, they were from the Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever, right? Also, you get to see Midnighter and Apollo, and Superman and Majestic fight Doomsday, and like Midnighter fights Joker, but Joker ends up killing. Also, they kill Starro off really easy, and like, so that kind of sucked, but yeah. So I don't know. Overall, I thought the action was okay. The art looked decent, but like they did the DC characters dirty, man, in this book. I'm not gonna lie. This book, it's the thing where this book is clearly geared for like Wildstorm fans, but then it's like they're trying to trick DC fans into reading Wildstorm books, and it's like, if you like show our favorite DC characters getting their asses kicked by, these guys, and even though it's a fake crossover, but still, man, it just, oh my god, I felt like the DC characters were being disrespected, despite the fact this is written by Keith Giffen, who's like a DC Comics writer. So how the hell this happened, I don't know. Oh man, but yeah, I thought like the DC characters got, disrespected. The only ones that got, played right was Superman, Jay Garrick Flash, and maybe the Atom, but they kill him off pretty pathetically. I don't even want to say in this review how he died, and he was on their team when he died. He gets, it was pretty sad and pathetic, man. I'm not gonna lie. But overall, I thought this was a decent book. I'm giving it, I think for Wildstorm fans, they would probably like it. But for DC fans, no way. So I was kind of leaning for 6.5 out of 10. But, no. And I was kind of surprised that, like, Superman did not, like, react when the Jenny Quark's character was like, my two dads, which is Midnighter and Apollo, which is basically the gay Batman, Superman of the Wildstorm universe. Like, it would have been fun to see, like, Superman, like, react to that, but he didn't. Which he reacted when somebody made fun of Texans. But he's from Kansas. But I guess it's like, oh, there's people from Kansas are also considered rednecks. So I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm giving this. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. If you're a Wildstorm fan, you would probably like this, but for DC fans, stay away, man. They did Batman dirty in this book, man. Yeah. Alright, guys, that's it for this review piece. I'm supposed to review the Mighty Thor Thunderstrike next, but if I get a chance to pick up my copy of Heroes Union #1 early, like I might pick it up tomorrow, then we'll review that instead. Alright, guys.